This time on the Highland Woodworker.
Find the location for his head. These inclusions here are always something to contend with.
Master woodworker Roark Phillips cranks out his art pieces with a set of power tools most wouldn't find in their workshop. He'll show us how he uses his chainsaws to cut, carve, and create creatures from a tree stump. Plus, Popular Woodworking Magazine has a portable solution to help support your longboards in tight spots. These stories, including a smart storage feature on my workbench and more, this time on the Highland Woodworker. I'm Charles Brock and I'm a Highland Woodworker. I always go to Highland Woodworking in Atlanta, Georgia when I need to get some fine woodworking tools and a good education. If you can't go to the store, then go to highlandwoodworking.com and you'll see all the tools, a good explanation for each tool, and they will ship it direct to your door quickly. Roark Phillips can see things in trees that most of us can't. To make that vision become a reality, he gasses up the chainsaw and he gets to work. Take a look at his marvelous creations and watch him in action in our moment with a master. Roark Phillips,
Yes.
it's wonderful being here in your shop, and this is kind of your gallery.
Yes. It's slowly transformed into a gallery. It was my showroom at one time, but the families jumped in and turned this into a gallery.
Well, we're close to Fayetteville, Tennessee, in southern Tennessee, just over the Alabama line going north, I guess. And we're here with a lot of your work, including
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon
Rocket
here.
Raccoon.
I have so many questions, but you had a question for me.
Yeah,
right?
you know, I've seen your show before. Love the show. I love to see other people's shops
Well, thank
and
you.
the tools they have. But that is some fine woodworking. I am a lot of, I can't cut a straight line. A measuring tape and marks on my logs are just a reference point, not a shooting spot. And there's design enhancements along the way. But wow, thank you for having me. Yeah, this has been phenomenal.
Yes, we have a lot of, quote, fine woodworkers, but you never know how your talents and your interest in wood are going to play
True.
out. And so you were working wood in some fashion.
Yes, yeah.
And tell us about what you were doing before.
I used to make longbows and recurves, functional works of art, weapons, and spent
You mean
hours.
longbows?
Longbows and
Yeah.
recurves, yeah. Laminating wood. Most of it was you go to the farm, cut the tree, cut it in half, let it season, take it down to a growth ring. Very familiar with a draw knife, to the point it was painful. Draw knife, but it was a labor of love, But you'd spend hours getting saw marks out of it, hours and tool marks. You'd hold it in low light, and oh, there's another one, there's another one, there's another one, and saw a picture of a chainsaw carved bear, and I said, I've got to try this. And you leave all the marks, and it worked out perfect. So I went from one extreme to the other, started seeing a little bit different into the wood.
So as a woodworker, you don't have to be, quote, a fine woodworker making chest of
Absolutely
drawers and
not.
things like that.
No.
But you express yourself
Yes.
with a different set of tools than let's say most.
True.
And what you have inside is expressed in Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon.
Or the Eagle, or a number of these
Yeah.
pieces that we're
Yeah.
going to see. And I mentioned Eagle, and that's probably what most people think of when they think of chainsaw
It is,
carving.
yeah.
This is just beautiful.
Thank you. I'm happy with it. Love the red cedar. People love to see the natural look, and it dries well, weathers well. burn it, flap it, put a finish on it. You know, try to find what you're looking for.
So you could see this in this log.
Absolutely. You have to know where you're going. There are some changes along the way, but you know, in the beginning, the tools manipulated me. It's like they were just whipping my tail. You know, I don't know what to do with this. Why am I even out here? And then I slowly started getting control of them. And they still get me from time to time. And I mean, I can't make them do what I want them to do. And that's just my vision needs to be a little deeper into what I'm doing, really. That's why I feel. This is a 100% chainsaw, lightly flapped. I was trying to push myself to see how to, well, get the negative space, the female figure, and a horse.
We've got bears, birds.
Yes, gnomes.
We have skulls. I think I knew this guy.
Yeah.
Right. I think we went to school together. Tell me about Roark as a kid. You did certain things that you can look back on now and you can see kind of a progression of from then till now. What inspired you and what continues to inspire you?
Oh gosh, you know, just can't sit still for one. I had a dad that pushed me. In a good way, He was an electrical engineer at NASA. I'm a NASA baby, born in Houston, Texas, a few years back. But and sometimes that's a struggle because he's an engineer, and I still have a little engineering in my DNA.
Sure.
And that sometimes doesn't really work well with some random cuts looking for a subject. Yes, there's a battle from time to time. But, you know, I guess the creative part of me came early in life, trying to, young family, be creative and wanting to make something when you didn't have a lot to work with.
Will you show us how you find that bear or that eagle in that log? Show us the tools you use. I can't wait to see it.
Absolutely. That's one of the best parts about carving. You just put your earmuffs on, you block the world out, and you try to find what you're looking for. Red cedar eagles look good, so try to lay in his head, find the location for his head. These inclusions here are always something to contend with. On red cedar, they grow in deep. So if I'm wanting to put talons on it, then I will try to shift the feet to where they're not in a bad location. Sometimes I peel the bark. I believe so. I'm looking for the outside of the head to be somewhere within these marks. We'll just put that as a center line. And then
so a standing eagle.
a standing one, yes. That's not marking very well, but let's, I'll get a nail. So he's gonna, well, there's his head, beak somewhere through there. You can tell I'm chicken scratcher, but you can see the back, or at least I can. I can do that with paint. Now I can see an eagle there.
Looks like one to me. This is one of your beautiful eagles, and just as a frame of reference, what you're going to be doing with the log.
Yes.
Yeah. Give us a little tour of some of the features.
The marks I made earlier were, you know, to lay in the head. You want a little bit neck. I'd love to add a little bit more neck in the next one. Recess the wings a little bit. The talons will take a little bit more time, but it's all about a flow in the textures of the hair and feathers.
All right, so you got the Roark regalia, is that right?
Yes.
You got the chaps on?
That's it.
So why do you have to wear chaps?
Oh my goodness. Well, these are a few nicks. PPE is the only way to do it. You have to, I want to continue carving without big scars on my legs.
There you go. Roark, it looks like with any type of sculpture or carving, there are some elements that are the same. Types of cuts. Like you made relief cuts.
True.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that you could easily remove and rough out the shape.
Yep. That was the pencil drawing, then scratch it with your saw, and then the big saw removes bigger chunks, you know, facets of it, and then you smooth those facets. But it's when you get to this point, it's mostly tip, just the tip of your saw.
Yeah.
Moving in, moving in, moving in, and you know, the angle that you hold your saw makes a big difference here too, because there's always kickback. And I have cut many a beak off right here, and so I've just learned to hold the saw a little bit different, and you know, get those undercuts in there.
But you have to secure the saw.
Absolutely,
To have
absolutely.
control of it.
Yeah, yeah. Get it up against your body.
And I noticed there were some cuts like you were making here. They're almost like shear cuts.
Yes.
You're just kind of taking the bar and the chain and kind of wrapping it around.
Move it, smoothing some areas out,
Yeah.
trying to get some symmetry. There's still a lot of work here to do, but it's more about symmetry to me, and which that's an ongoing battle. I have a strong side and a weak side. You know, one side seems to be able to look better than the other from time to time. But
So from here, then you have some detailing to do.
absolutely, absolutely. Still several more cuts to make, but yeah, I'll usually, red cedar is so brittle, this could snap off real easy. So I will go back and I can bring it in pretty tight with my saw, but if I'm not in a hurry, I'll sand this in. I'll get the form of the head, cut the eye socket in a little deeper with the sanders, clean it off, try to get the back of the jowl line, under neck. From that point, I will take one like this. It's a pretty thick beak, so Knock this in just a little, not much. Then the eye tool. This is the, just burn it in.
Ah, fabulous. Roark, I understand that you'll even come to a person's residence or wherever they have a stump and you'll carve.
Absolutely. On-site jobs. I've carved, oh my goodness, I've from Albuquerque through New England, Florida, Alabama, all over. Actually have pieces in 44 states, 5 countries, and 3 continents. And I'm just a plowboy from the South that loves to play, and I'm glad it's went that far.
Well, this is just amazing seeing you do it and seeing all your great work. And thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, you're very welcome. Meet the Bora Centipede, the lightweight and portable workshop table that supports up to 3,000 pounds, stores in a small space for tight shops, and opens into a work table to bring your work to a comfortable height. This makes the perfect companion for your track saw. Comes with X cups and hold downs to secure your work. Just add the Bora workbench top and you've got a great auxiliary table anywhere in your shop. Upgrade your shop today. Whiteside Machine Company has been in business for over 30 years providing customers with quality router bits. Fine Woodworking Magazine has declared Whiteside router bits best overall and best value when compared against 17 other brands. No matter the router application, they have the type and profile of carbide router bit you need. When you put a Whiteside router bit to work in your shop, it is guaranteed to make you smile.
There's 4 words that Lee Tools lives by. 4 words that mean quality joinery to take your projects to the next level. Whether it's dovetails, box joints, or mortise and tenon. And we'll even help you clean up. Those 4 words, better tools, better results.
About 2 years ago, I was having some trouble getting clean rip cuts in some thick walnut stock. So I bought a Whiteside Dimar Plus rip blade. And it's a TCG blade, which means that every other tooth has a little chamfer on each side of it. That turned out to be a great investment. And you know what? It's about half the price maybe of the high-priced blades that I had seen and some that I had tried. Well, just recently, Whiteside introduced a whole line of Dimar table saw and trim blades. Let me show them to you. Well, the workhorse of any shop is a good combination saw blade. This is the Whiteside Dimar Plus 10-inch blade with 50 teeth. And we're going to try it out here. First time that I've tried this blade, we're going to see how it cuts. The great thing about a combination blade is it rips and it cross cuts. Both of the operations that you do most in your shop. So here I've got it set up to do a little light ripping job on a piece of 2-inch walnut. And let's see what it does. We'll run it through its paces and then we'll cross cut. Okay, we did remove the guards so you could see the cut and see that, wow, that's nice. Very few saw marks, and that's a heavy cut for a combination blade. I like it. Now let's see what it does with a cross cut. Well, let's take a look at the quality of cut. Wow, that's really nice. A great cross cut and a great ripping blade, that makes for a wonderful combination blade. Whiteside Dimar Plus. And they also have a trim cut saw blade, a 10-inch blade that could do a great job on your trim saw. Here's an addition to the line that I've been looking forward to, and that's a Whiteside Dimar Plus Dado set. We're going to open this up, take it for a spin, see how it does. This is what you get. You get 2 of the outside blades, and they have 44 teeth, which is way above the standard for the industry. I really like that. And then they have the chippers that go in between. And of course you stack them up to get the width of the dado that you're looking for. You get 4 that are 1/8 of an inch wide chippers. And then you get a 1/16 of an inch chipper. And you also get a set of colored shims. And this tells you exactly how to put it together to get the width that you want. That's outstanding. Okay, I'm going to assemble this and then we'll give it a test drive. I've got an old crosscut sled here that I use for cutting dados, and so got it lined up, got it put together, and we're going to cut in that same board, see what we get. Let's see how it does. How about that cut? I love what the 44 teeth in those outer rims, I love the finish that they give to the cut, and it's just beautiful. It's got a nice flat bottom, very good. Whiteside Dimar blades. I've come to the conclusion you can save some money and even get better cuts.
My garage workshop doesn't have a lot of space for equipment that I'm not going to use all that often. One of those pieces is an outfeed stand, but it's still nice to be able to support long boards when I'm working here at the table saw or some of my other tools. So I came up with a simple portable solution, and that's this unit right here. What it does is clamp onto something like a sawhorse or even a workbench or one of my carts and allows me to support long boards all around my shop. It's pretty easy to make, and I got it by scrounging up some pieces that I had laying around my shop. There's a base here that's made from a 2x4, and that's what allows you to clamp it to any work surface. A plywood backer on the bottom supports the riser that goes up and down. It houses a studded knob and an index pin that keeps the support perfectly level. Now the riser itself is a hardwood board that has a slot cut in it to give me the greatest range of adjustability. The support itself is another piece cut from a 2x4. Now I rounded the top and back edges here so that a workpiece isn't going to catch on it as it slides up to it. What's nice is that with this range of adjustability, I can use it not only at the table saw, but at the drill press, band saw, and even if I'm working with long pieces at my bench. It's something that you might want to build for your shop, no matter how large it is.
Highland Woodworking stocks a wide selection of Raccoon power tools, known for their innovative design and rugged durability. Highland has sold thousands of Raccoon's industry-leading bandsaws with sizes to fit every woodworking need, from the compact, affordable 10-inch model to competitively priced 14 and 18-inch models. Shop us also for Raccoon's reliable planers, lathes, and professional low-speed grinder, all with an exceptional 5-year warranty. Raccoon power tools.
I'm just an average, down-to-earth woodworker. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably about a 5. But one place I score a perfect 10 is right here, and I plan on keeping all 10. That's why I have a saw-stop table saw. And there's more. Plenty of power, superior dust collection, and absolute accuracy. These features have made it the best-selling cabinet saw in America. Let Highland Woodworking help you put a saw-stop in your shop.
Ralph here from Wood Academy. Now, we all know Whiteside as a router bit brand and one of my favorites, but they're also now carrying a line of saw blades. I was working on a cutting board project and needed to rip down some hardwood. Walnut, cherry, and maple were no problem, and the cuts were consistently clean and smooth. This is a 10-inch, 30-tooth blade with a triple chip grind and a pretty aggressive 22-degree hook on the teeth. It provides smooth, clean cutting in solid stock, thick or thin.
If you can't make it to Highland Woodworking in Atlanta, Georgia, you can shop online at highlandwoodworking.com. They're great at getting what you want to your shop quick. Let Highland's legendary wood slicer resaw blade help make it easy for you to get great results sawing thick lumber into thinner boards. The wood slicer is designed to cut much faster, smoother, and quieter than ordinary bandsaw blades. You'll be amazed at how smooth a surface you'll get with a wood slicer. Its variable tooth pattern greatly reduces noise and vibration. Order a wood slicer from Highland Woodworking for your bandsaw today. Well, some woodworkers think that they don't have room for a large bench. Well, first of all, you've got to have places to put things, and you've got to have room to work. And yes, flat surfaces are going to accumulate things, but they will somewhere in your shop. But it's great to have a big bench when you need it. And it's even better to have a big bench that has storage. Well, we have turned the bench around so that you can see it better. And I usually work with it the other way. So I've got my tools here and my other tools down here. So let's take a look. One of the things I really love is this space between the bench top and the top of the cabinet here. I can put so much down here that I need right at my fingertips, like my mat. I can pull it right out, and I can keep things from getting on the bench top that might not make me smile. This is great. Now, let's suppose that I want to sharpen. Well, I've got my sharpening stuff right here. And so I can pull it out on the bench top, and I can work with it right here. The mat keeps the bench from getting messed up. I can spread out my sharpening apparatus, and I can work right here without marring my bench top, and I have a place to put it. It's right at my fingertips, which is really important and helps me be efficient. Well, you notice it's got a great set of drawers here. And you can put the things that you need here so that you don't have to walk all over your shop. And that saves time, and that can make you happy. I've got the things that I need right here. So, now, that's not all. You've got 4 drawers that are just like the ones I showed you. You've got some deeper drawers. You've got 2 of those, and then you've got a cabinet here where you can put those things that you need to be able to grab and go with, like your router that you use and your domino, things like that. Now, let me tell you, it's wonderful to have this cabinet here, because if I didn't, I'd have to have the cabinet someplace else, and that would take up room. You do have room, probably for this bench or one close to the size of this bench in your shop, because you've got all of this versatility. And look, I've even got a place for my hold down. It couldn't be better. It'll make you smile.
Improve your woodworking experience. Sign up for Wood News Online, a monthly newsletter showcasing the latest news, tips, and classes Highland Woodworking has to offer. By signing up, you'll receive the latest episode of the Highland Woodworker, special store promotions, and Wood News Online delivered straight to your inbox. Sign up today.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of the Highland Woodworker. Check us out on our social media platforms. And until next time, I'm Charles Brock, and I'm a Highland Woodworker.